All members rise. The meeting is called to order. Comrades, you are called to order for the opening ceremony. Please uncover your cap and place on left shoulder. Comrades will now be led in prayer by our chaplain.
God be merciful unto us, and bless us, cause thy face to shine upon us, that thy way may be known upon earth, and thy saving strength among all people. Let the people be glad and sing for joy, for thou shalt judge them righteously, and govern the nations upon earth. Especially do we pray that we may have thy guidance to the end, that we may each of us firmly uphold the great principles of this organization. Amen.
Amen. Cover. Comrades, attention. Persons wearing uniform cap will give the hand salute, and all other place your right hand over your heart. Please join me in giving the oath of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I now declare this meeting open for the transactions of such business as may rightfully come before it. Conrad Adjutant, will you call the roll of officers?
Do that right now. Commander.
Present.
Okay. Senior Vice Commander. Junior Vice.
Here.
Benefits and Protection Team.
Here.
Service Officer.
Here.
Great. Adjutant and Treasurer. Here. Membership officers have been assigned. Thank you.
I would like to introduce the District 4 Commander, Marlo Benner, and he's also the past state commander. Thank you.
Thank you, Commander.
Are there any other visitors tonight?
Yeah,
Please stand up.
hello, my name is Sheila Jackson, and I'm here to observe the meeting. I don't know if you guys heard, but we are working on a podcast to inform other veterans on the CAV, specifically Chapter 6. So, I'm just here to watch.
Thank you.
Who's your granddad?
Yeah, I'm Michael Sullivan. I'm a Vietnam vet, and I come here today to preserve and stand on to become a member of the VAV.
Right. You're welcome.
Sir, the visitors or members?
Yeah.
Just welcome. Comrade Adjutant, will you read the minutes of the last meeting? Have all members received your 2 minutes?
Okay, I wasn't here for last meeting, but I received the YouTube minutes. How many did not receive the YouTube minutes because of one thing or another? Who didn't receive it? Okay. Please see me, because I'm going to be taking the sign-in sheet, and I'm going to make sure that I've got the right email for individuals so that it will go out to you for the YouTube. Okay? Yes.
To the chairs, I have the MailChimp up here. What was your email?
lbowens.yahoo.com.
Elbowens?
Okay. So he will check, he will make sure that, I'll tell you what, before you leave, please check, with our IT person, so that everyone will have the, correct, spelling for your email address. Okay? With that, Commander, I, move that the, minutes for, last month be accepted.
Okay, I need a motion to accept the minutes.
Motion.
To accept the
Is
minutes.
there a second?
Second.
Motion's been second. Any discussion for? Discussion against?
I do want to have a discussion. We came to an agreement for the, feeding the homeless. But no, go ahead on, accept the minutes, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Accept it as.
All right. Call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We will now hear the treasury report.
Thank you, man.
Before I get into the, report, one of the things that, the chapter must do is financial records and report. And, each chapter shall keep a complete financial record of all money received and expended. All, access of the chapter must be titled or held in the name of the chapter. Fixed, assets such as building, land, and equipment must be maintained in a manner that will prevent waste, or deter it. Now, the reason I read this is that this is one of the things that the treasurer has to do, for those that don't understand what a treasurer's duty is. And I'm going to read the last little part here where it says, paragraph number 2. The financial statement as required by these bylaws must be reviewed by a certified public accountant, CPA. If the gross annual income excludes membership per capita exceeds $300,000 from all sources. This is the reason why we have a CPA to do our books every year, which we pay that company $1,500. Now, also, I went and attended a course in QuickBooks. How many of you know about QuickBooks? Okay. How many of you use QuickBooks? Okay. The reason that I had to take this class, I didn't know anything about QuickBooks. I'm using my Excel to try to keep up with this, and I learned a lot of stuff going to the class. What I did, I paid for the class, and then I paid for an extended version so that anyone in this room here can go in and learn QuickBooks on my account, free. Okay? So there's always slick ways of getting around this.
When it says that the income has to be over 300,000, that's just income, so that's like our income from interest.
Mhm.
But isn't that different than our assets?
We got access.
We have assets,
Mhm.
but that's not income.
Not income, but it's also stated in here, you will record everything that you have. So
Yeah.
when we record everything we have, that goes over the threshold. So that's the reason why we got to report it. Yeah. All right? So, without further ado, general fund, 59,000. This is what we started off with, and that's beginning of 1 October 2019 to 31st October 19. We started out with $59,434.50, and we ended up with $53,919.14. In there, we deposit $25, and the debt or withdrawal was $5,549.36, which gave us the $53,910.14. Okay, that was just on the general fund. On the community fund, we started out in that same period, $6,477.99. We ended up with $4,937.99. Let me go to the next page. Give me a second here, my fingers don't work like they used to. Yeah, old age and dry hands. There it is. Okay, we withdrew $1,540, which gave us the $4,937.99. Now, in the community fund, as you know, we are paying off anyone that joins the chapter from, say, sometime back to December 31st. After December 31st, we got to cut it off because it's too much. And if you, let me say this, if you guys have these forms where you are got people committed to the chapter, okay, get their $40 and mail me the information, and I will send it in before the 31st. Okay, that way we can catch them. Yes, sir.
What are you saying, the new individual only has to come up with $40 and then we'll cover the rest?
Yes. That's until December 31st. After December 31st, cut off.
Yep.
Right?
And the price went up.
Yep.
That's right. Yep. Okay. Commander, there goes my report.
We have 2 new members, can you explain to them that $40 we'll put in free?
Sure. What happens is that when a person gives us the $40, which gives me the $40, then what I will do is look at what that individual age is. Now, if that person is 80 and over, it's free. Okay? If that person is 71 to 79, it's $140. If he or she is 61 to 70, it's $180. 41 to 60, $230. 40 and younger, $250.
But those are the old prices.
These are the old prices. So that's what I'm saying. Get it in now. I ain't even going with the new prices. We ain't even worried about it. You're going to have to pay what they think. Yes.
But don't they take monthly payments on that price? So So it's $240, then they'll take,
If you ask for a payment plan,
payment plan, there you go.
okay?
Okay.
All right? But this is what we're trying to get done right now,
Right now.
okay? In the future, you can talk to me, and I'm just gonna go in one ear and out the other, okay? Yeah.
I don't think there is no.
Who is the person that we have?
Okay,
Who are the people we have?
the adjutant is saying is that we are paying that $240 for you.
And 40? 40, oh, 40.
The
For you,
is
up
by
until
you.
December 31st. So your total cost for life membership is $40.
Which is a great deal.
That goes my report, Commander.
May I have a motion to accept,
Make a motion to accept the report as presented.
or second?
Second the audit.
You have a question?
Yeah, will, TJ be available after the meeting to discuss purchase order?
Yes.
Discussion again? Call for the question? Aye?
Aye.
Nay? Motion passes. Comrade Chaplain, are there any reports on sickness or distress?
Commander, I have none. I was wondering if, does anyone else have any sickness and distress? I heard something about an accident before the meeting. Someone was missing.
I do. Yeah, you all see me hopping around, well,
Yes, sir.
for the last year, I lost the use of my hand. So last week, the doctors, had determined that I have, ALS. Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Good.
yeah,
They have you on medication now?
yes,
Thank you. I'll speak to you later.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you. New business, and Comrade Adjutant, please introduce the guest.
Okay, we know that we do our business with the BBVA, right? That's who we do our business with, that thing. This is a person who represents the BBVA, and I'm gonna have her to introduce herself and to introduce some things that she wants to cover, all right?
Yeah, thank you so much for your service and your service, and thank you. We appreciate you very, very much. And then you come here, oh, yes, oh, okay, not in front of the board. Thank you. So I am with BBVA Bank, and as you mentioned that you are one of our clients, and we appreciate your business and have a program that we wanted to share with everyone, and it's our BBVA For Your Cause. And what it is we give $50 to nonprofit organizations for every checking account that is established with an affinity code attached to it. So any supporter of the organization who was interested in having an account with us, if they gave us that affinity code, then we would issue $50 back to the organization. It's just our royalty, our way of giving back to the community. Our checking accounts are completely free. We don't charge anything on our no monthly service fee for the checking accounts. Right now, from November 4th through November 19th, we have a special promotion that we're doing where we're giving out $200 as a cash bonus for a one-time direct deposit into the account. So you can combine our $200 cash bonus to the individuals along with that $50 bonus that goes back to the nonprofit. So and there's a few more perks that go with that promotion that goes through November 19th. So it's our way of giving back again with the BBVA For Your Cause program. So I'm here to answer any questions, and I can establish accounts here. We have a really huge range of products that we do and really great benefits that we offer. There's about 7 BBVA branches in the greater Sacramento area, from Lincoln through Lodi and Jackson. And then there's a large presence in the Central Valley and Stockton. We have several branches. We go into the Bay Area, and we go into Southern California all the way through Mexico. And we're an international bank, so we also own Bancomer in Mexico, which is the largest bank in Mexico. So we offer a lot of different services, like to transfer money to Mexico, for example. It can be done right on our mobile app. It is less expensive to send it through the mobile app. It's like $5 compared to more if you were to go into like a Western Union or another way to send it. And our international exchange rate is higher because we have that partnership. We're also in over 30 countries, and we're in 7 states. So anyone has any questions, again, we'll tie that affinity code to any accounts that are established. We have a full range of products, and I'll just be here to answer any questions anyone has.
Really quick, is there a minimum direct deposit amount monthly?
For a free checking account, no required minimum at all. No minimum direct deposit, no minimum balance, no minimum transaction. The account is completely free. Now, to qualify for that $200 cash bonus, then there is a one-time direct deposit of $500 that needs to go into the account by December 31st to qualify for that $200 cash bonus. That's it. There's nothing else that you have to do. Yes?
Do you have any cards?
I do. I can hand out some cards.
Because I'm interested in the international banking club with the general club.
Yeah, absolutely, and I will be here to answer any questions. I have some literature, some information that I'd be happy to provide as well.
And what was your name again?
My name is Bernie Hattersfield. And one other perk that goes with the nonprofit program that we have is, besides the $50 that goes back to the nonprofit, 0.25% of all card transactions. So if you were to make a purchase with your ATM card, but you sign for it, 0.25% of the amount on each account gets accumulated and goes back to the nonprofit as well, for all of the accounts that are attached to that affinity code. So, if you have any friends or family members that use that code that are interested in accounts, all of that would go back to the organization as well. It's all just, a way of us giving back. Yes?
Do you have kiosks? How many kiosks? ATMs?
Yes. Okay, so we have an account. So we have our free checking account, and we have a convenience checking account. Our convenience checking account is, there's a couple ways to qualify. It's not the completely free account. One way to qualify is to have direct deposits that total $500 a month. Not just one, it could be multiple direct deposits. As long as they total $500 a month, then that waives the fee on the account, or else a $1,500 balance would waive the fee. With the convenience checking account, it's linked to the Allpoint ATM network. So there's over 63,000 Allpoint ATMs around. So they're in all 7-Elevens, all of the ATMs in 7-Elevens, those are all Allpoints. In Costco, CVS pharmacies, and grocery stores, any of those ATM machines, most of them are Allpoint network. So you can use your card at any of those ATMs and not pay any fees to get cash out. But again, we have Lincoln, Roseville, Elk Grove, Sacramento. There's 2 branches in Lodi, there's Jackson, and then there are several in Stockton with Esto Tracy. So we're not on every single corner, but we are a very strong bank, and we are international. So if ever you travel, BBVA is a very well-known bank in many countries and states. we are headquartered out of Spain, but in the U.S., our headquarters is in Alabama. Yeah.
And you're on Watt, right across from the, Lazy Boy there.
Yes, yes. So right on Watt and Butano. It's in between El Camino and Alta Arden. There's a branch right there.
Thank you. You're gonna stay around after the meeting?
I will stay for a little while after. Yes, I'm gonna go out to my car and get somewhere that is dressed.
Thank you.
So we can corner you. Yes, absolutely you can. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, one of our members, Richard LaFontaine, he was up on the roof on Thursday, and basically he fixed the heating and air conditioning unit. What he found was the unit had been taken over by wasp nests. And
That why it was so hot that day.
so he cleaned that up, and he also replaced one fuse that apparently one of the wasps decided to walk over a fuse and shorted it out. So,
He only did that once though.
Richard's not here today, but I do want to, let you know that he did come out and did not charge the chapter or anything, and he's coming back to remove the air conditioning coils and then clean them. He did the best he could, but it still needs some more.
It's still free.
So.
Thank you, Richard.
Okay, the other is November the 30th, which is Saturday after Thanksgiving. We're going to be feeding homeless veterans and homeless individuals here. And we have a letter out, and it's been quite an experience. I do want to thank Mike Patty. He's also the commander of American Legion Post 832, and his post is going to allow us to use his commercial licensed kitchen and his commercial licensed refrigeration unit for the food, which is something that we have to have. But we just cannot cook food anywhere. It's got to be a licensed facility. So he was gracious enough to allow us to use it. So thank you, Mike. We do have a list of ingredients, and we're in the process now of talking to business individuals as well as the food banks to see how many of these food ingredients we can get. But, like we need 16 turkeys, we need 100 pounds of potato, so forth. Paper bag, napkin. So that's what we're going to be doing over the next week, and we need all the help we can get. So after the meeting, I'll be here, and anybody that wants to help, please see me. And then for November the 30th, we are going to need a lot of help here in serving out the food. Okay, the other activities.
Before you get on.
Yep.
It was brought to my attention at the last meeting that since you had asked to have it in here, and I was thinking, for the members, is there any possibility we can close off the parking lot, and if the weather presents itself like today, that we could have it on tables outside so that the people would not have to come in here and, mess up things. Because that's what it was brought to the attention of, and I thought I would just pass it out. And ask. All right, DJ.
What's going to happen is that, as you know, we have the sheriff department come out and clean up. So that was going to be the event after we have that event for them to come out and clean the place up. Now, we had the sheriff department come out last week, and really they didn't need to do anything around here because they had did the work prior to the month before. So we had about 4, females to clean this area, 4 clean that area. The rest of them were outside doing different things. And the sheriff department asked if we had paint. They would have painted the place, okay? So, I'm trying to get us on a schedule that will bring them out maybe a week before we have our meeting, okay? But I would like, I wouldn't want to close this off for the simple reason that we may have someone that want to use the bathroom, okay? So we want to show them that we're here for them. This is the first time that we're going to do something like this. And if we see all these homeless up and down the street, they need help. You know, we could be that one step away like they are. So we need to give back to the unfortunate. All right?
The time is 10 to 3:30, is that the feeding time?
Yes.
What time are we going to need help, setting up, and what time until with, tear down?
Okay, well,
Or is that to come and
well,
don't worry about it?
you'll receive an email by Wednesday this week. The whole meal has changed this morning. I had a lady that works for the food bank that provides meals, and what we're doing, she basically said, no, you really need to do it this way, and it's going to be a large Subway sandwich that's going to be into a bag with other items that they can carry with them. What we had planned was basically the dinner plate, you know, serving, and basically their experience is that you know, the homeless individuals prefer it in a bag they can take with them. So we're changing that. We're also looking at having an outside cover. So what I have in that email, it's just that I have to change all the ingredients from that conversation this morning.
You guys got to remember also, this is the first time that this chapter is doing something like this.
Right.
So we're gonna learn on its first go round, and then we can clean up all the other stuff for the next go around.
And before I speak to Commander Parker here, I do want to mention is that we also are asking for individuals to bring warm clothing to the event.
I've got clothing that I'm going to be bringing here in next week. If you got you know, clothes that you know that individuals are going to need for the winter months, you know that you're not using it, wash it before you bring it in, and we'll store it in here, and then anyone that needs something will have it, and we'll make sure that they get something, okay? Because you got some people out there that have a family out there too, so.
Mr. Randall, have you thought about how you're going to get the homeless, how you're going to get the word out in the community, and how you're going to get the homeless here? Thought about how you're going to bring them in?
I've not gone to that step, to be honest with you. We're going to be talking to individuals like you and others that have that expertise. The number one priority was, what sort of permits that we need, and that's when we found out immediately that we need a licensed kitchen, and trying to find one in this area, there are none, so that's when we asked Mike here to help out, he had helped out. And the same thing with the food bank, there is none in this area, you have to go all the way up to North Highland.
Food bank?
There's a large food bank that you can go to, and they will give food to an organization that will then distribute it out to individuals.
Like one to it? Bring no part?
Yeah.
That's right there.
Well, the large distribution one is.
Large distribution, okay.
Yeah, they're the ones that bring the food to all these other subsidiaries. But you have to go to the, and it took a while to move through the chain of command and finally get that
Justice Warren up on, Orange Street off of White Avenue.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised, is it American Legion that's on, Warren over by the, memories behind that? They have it's a name.
Commander, some people's not talking loud enough. We appreciate it if we talk, when you got the floor, that you talk so we
Yes,
can
sir.
all hear, you know?
Okay.
I wear a hearing aid, but when you talk soft, sometimes I just can't get it.
Right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
Okay, the question before is there's another American Legion that's closer, and the answer is yes, but in the essence of time, I knew 2 American Legions that have kitchens, and the first one I went to, they were gracious enough to open their facilities up from Thanksgiving through the whole event. And I did check their health department certificates are all up to date, their fire certificates, so we don't, we have a liability issue we have to cover ourselves with all of them. Okay. All right. So we will now have reports of the committees, the membership committee.
Membership. We're down to 79. Okay. Last month we were down to 80. And the month before that was 85. So we're down to 79, and it might be lower than this. But after, like I said, after December 31st, that's the cutoff. All right.
Okay, service officers, and before you give your report, Doctor, I do want to extend my personal thank you, that there's quite a few individuals that are putting a lot of time into helping veterans with their claims. And when you see them, I think we all know who they are. If not, the doctor will let us know who they are. But we need to thank them for all the time they're putting in and the difference that they're making in the lives of these veterans and their families.
Okay, I've been quite busy in the past week. I did go out to Mesa, had an appointment, but I wound up doing a veteran's claim also after my appointment. We're getting the paperwork out as expeditiously as possible to Oakland, and I'm looking through the records myself because I am a physician, which makes it a little easier to deal with the various veterans issues effectively. And Karen, you're always hiding.
I am not hiding, I am not in the corner today.
That's true, okay?
I moved up.
Karen is the other service officer who does an outstanding job. And when I go away on the next Sunday, she will be taking over for me. I periodically have to go away out of the country and that. So that's a good thing. But Karen is outstanding. She knows everything. And the veterans have come to me. DJ, did you want me to hit on the clothing allowance?
Yep.
Okay, on the clothing allowance, I have a tally of over 200 veterans here who are supposed to receive clothing allowances. What has happened in many cases is after you get the notice in March, which says you do not, if you've been receiving clothing allowances, you do not have to submit one because you're already in the system. If you want 2 clothing allowances, then you will submit a clothing allowance form for the second clothing allowance. The clothing allowance is up to $817, which is not insignificant. However, whatever they're playing with this year, what has happened with many of the veterans, they have not received their clothing allowances. So I went to the source, which is the individual who decide per regulations, and brother, they have a lot of regulations that may be all fine and good. However, if you did not submit a clothing allowance, the initial, which they said you didn't have to submit because you've been getting it every year, yearly. However, that is not true anymore. You have to submit a clothing allowance every year, or you are not going to get that clothing allowance. So they lied. Basically, I said you lied to the veterans. Well, these regulations, and I have all the regulations, USC 38-163, and it goes on and on. But I read, when I got my paperwork, which was 16 pages, to tell me what I already knew. But the second page just said, you've been granted your clothing allowances. That's all well and good for me. However, for the rest of the veterans, Patricia Wheeler called me. She did put in for second clothing allowance. She got one clothing allowance. So this is very disturbing to me because I feel that the VA is playing yet another game on the disabled veterans.
Yeah.
And this is not right. Yes, Tom?
Is this on the shoes also?
No.
No.
Parents there, no. I made that clear. No. So every time that you're going to the VA and you have an appliances or these creams that affect your skin and are service connected, just open your mouth a little wider and be very vociferous. And when the next clothing period comes around, I'm still fighting this one through the Congress with Senator Feinstein and Representative Matsui. But I am very, very upset.
Thank you. Hospital committee?
So this weekend obviously is Veterans Day weekend, and typically the VA puts on an event at Mather every Veterans Day and every Memorial Day. All of a sudden they're going in a different direction and they're not having it at the hospital. They are going to be having it at Rancho Cordova's Cordova High Performing Arts Center. It's going to be at 10 a.m. and it's on the 11th on Veterans Day, and that's at 2239 Chase Drive. The VA Service Volunteer Office decided not to tell all the service officers that they were going to be doing this. So I didn't know until just this week when I talked to my friend who works in that office, and she said, no, it's not even going to be at the hospital this year. So I am not having a table, I am not doing anything because there was no outreach to any of the service organizations. So if you want to go, you are more than welcome to go there. But as a chapter, I'm staying out of this one. On a piggyback as well, I was going to see if there's any interest from any of the people in the chapter of taking over as the hospital chairperson, because I'm going to be bowing out of that pretty soon. So I'm just putting it out there to get feelers. And that's all, sir.
Legislative committee?
Thank you, Commander. Hello, everybody. Last time I was here, I gave you an update on what the bills are taking place at the Capitol. I let you know that I have in my hand here a complete list of all the bills that were presented at the Capitol, and there's almost 8 or 9, 10 pages. When I get through with my report, I'm not going to read this, but when I get through with my report, I'm going to give it to DJ and he'll email it out to everybody here. This report is a composition of the California State Commanders Council, which I'm part of. We have 22 organizations statewide that belong to the council. I recommend strongly to the DAV State Commander that they actually join this group, because it's all the veteran groups in California, all the commanders, that type of thing. So it's good information to get. But I'll make sure that this goes out and you get a copy of it. It's 9 or 10 pages, a lot of technical stuff. But when you read it, take time to go home and read it and take time to find out what happened at the state capitol. I'll give you my short version here, like I usually do, is the 2019-2020 recap. That's the cycle that just completed. There are over 90 bills presented, veteran bills in California, for over 90 presented. Actually, the governor, they created 1,200 bills last year. 1,200 bills. Everybody wants a bill, right? But of the 1,200, actually the 1,200 hit the governor's desk, 90 were veteran related. So 90 veteran bills are related. Of the 90 bills, only 35 passed our muster. You know, we meet as a group. I, as American Legion commissioner and everything else, and my other hats, we meet as a group to determine of the 90 bills how many should move forward. And you'll see on the list here, you'll see 35 bills move forward to different committees and that type of thing. After the 35 bills move forward to committees and those type of things, they get dropped in committees, they die in committees because of financial reasons and everything else. The bottom line is the governor got 16 bills, the 35, and you'll see them in here. You can read the bills. Of the 16, he signed 15, which is like 97% and that type of thing. So he did sign 15 of the 16 bills. But the bills that didn't make it this time, we're on a second-year cycle, so we have one more year to go for a 2-year cycle. So the bills that didn't make it to the governor's desk, we'll just move them forward this year. And as I mentioned last time we met, there are some key significant bills that didn't make it out of committee. You'll see them in there as well. One big bill that we fought on hard, all the commanders in California, AB 694, that bill created $600 million for housing, bond money for housing for low-income and homeless veterans. So that bill would have created a lot of money for homeless veterans in California. That bill went through all the different committees, but didn't pass to the Finance Committee. So that bill will go on the docket for next year. We're still fighting that. They need that money so they can build more housing for veterans, for homeless veterans. We just talked about them a few minutes ago. So that's a big disappointment. That again, we'll fight that battle again next year. Another big disappointment is SB 663 to expand property taxes, expansion for all veteran halls in California. Yeah, we fought hard for that bill. But there are veteran halls in California that are paying $8,000 a year property tax. So this gives other veteran halls throughout the state property tax relief, more expansion of that. That bill died in committee as well. So we were disappointed on that. And then also for you veterans that are 100% rated, we fought for expansion of your property tax. If you have a house, for example, in California, that you're 100%, you're eligible for a property tax reduction on your house. How many have that benefit?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. It's a great benefit. Well, if you're not doing that, by the way, and you're 100% rated, you better see Dr. Rabb or myself or something, because you got to get connected to that. It's a big benefit. But this would expand that benefit totally, expand it like another $100,000.
Yeah.
And that bill actually passed through all the committees. All the assessors in California that do the taxes, if they want all your tax money, they supported it. But it went to the governance committee, finance governance committee, which is finances, and they didn't pass out of that committee. So we'll fight that bill next year again. So, but if you see there's a couple of bills worth mentioning that did make it out of committee and signed by the governor. One was a needed veteran cemetery in Southern California State Cemetery. The governor signed that. He also signed a bill, the rent control bill. How many maybe saw that? But
Yeah.
Rent control caps. There's a lot of low-income and homeless veterans that live in apartments, and so this bill is for everybody. It's not veterans, but this bill would cap the percentage that the landlords can charge every year on the rental. So that's a big deal for a lot of people who are renting apartments. But then actually there is another bill that if a veteran goes to a landlord and he has a voucher, Section 8 voucher, like a welfare voucher or public voucher to get in. In the Employment and Training Code, I won't go to the Employment and Housing Code, there is no language to the veteran protection in that code. It had other groups that were protected, that can't discriminate against veterans. This bill puts the veterans as a priority, kind of as a protected class. That bill passed, so that's good for veterans. And they also expanded the legal services for veterans who need legal assistance. Either it's homeless veterans or low-income veterans they get free pro bono services from the ABA. Expands that lawyers now are required to help more low-income veterans get legal services. And all I give the governor, like maybe of the 16 bills he signed, not a lot on the bone. Not real heavy, significant bills, but he did sign a lot of bills, and you'll see them when you read them. I'll take any questions. If not, that's my report.
Thank you.
Okay, here.
State Executive Committee? State Executive Committee?
Oh, I'm sorry. Like they just said, you, 79 more is what you need for your quota, and all the chapters have an awful lot of people to get in as members. They just raised the quota to almost unbelievable. So I understand you're not going to get it this year, I don't think, but if you do, that'd be great. It's a pat on my back, but whatever.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Podcast Committee?
So when does that start? Is this like a new thing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did we vote it in like last? Or is this something new?
Well,
So I don't really, so let me just say, it's a new venture for Sheila and I, so that's why she's here. I don't really know, I've never done a podcast. I've never been really one, although you all see me, I wear so many hats. But this is going to be something new for me. This is,
right,
and the hope is maybe we'll do memberships, but then maybe we'll get the word out about what GAV as a whole is doing, and how, as I'm really learning now, that this chapter in particular, I've never been a part of any other chapter, but this chapter in particular is really keeping in line with kind of the original message of GAV. Processing claims, helping families, doing legislative work, being a figure within the community, helping soldiers transition from active military life to now civilian life.
Right. The main goal is to get that message to the younger men and women in the service so they consider joining GAV.
Yes, we're doing that.
Okay, and then the Memorial Day Activities Committee.
Okay, that will be Monday. JC, will you please stand for me? Some of you know JC and some of you don't. Okay. JC have committed himself and his team to do the color guard for us for the Golden Corral. So we putting that back on. I really want to thank you for that. Thank you. On the Golden Corral, we will be doing that on the 11th, which is actually Veterans Day, and that will be Monday. What's going to happen is that anyone that has signed up, if you want to sign up for working the Golden Corral, I have the list here. Okay, and we will start individuals that come in. I want you there by 4:30, and what we will do is feed you first, so that we can get everybody together to do the work that we need to get done. And that is to make sure that we have an orderly line, that they get in. And what's gonna happen is that, we're going to, get everyone in line, and then we start at 5 o'clock, getting them in so that they can eat. At 5:30, that's when JC will do the honor guard, part of it, okay? Today I'm going to take the cans so that we can start collecting for the money for today and tomorrow and actually Monday, all right? So that's what's gonna happen. So if you want to join us in during the Golden Corral on Monday, just see me afterwards and we can get you signed up. Now we got two rosters. We got the Golden Corral for working on the 11th, and we got Golden Corral for the dinner. Okay? Well, that's the Christmas dinner. We'll get to you. That is for you to sign up, and your spouse or your loved one can come to that. We pay for that. Now, if you're a senior citizen, okay, don't get me wrong. If you're a senior citizen, that's a good thing. So I want you to print your name, and by your name, put a plus. Because that means that when I go to pay the bill, it gets reduced. And many senior citizens that we got in here, okay, I ain't gonna call the names out, I'll point you out, but that's gonna be a good thing. All you youngins, we're gonna have to pay the regular price for you. Okay, now let me get her first. Okay?
Do you have enough people for Monday?
For Monday?
Yeah.
We might. But if you want to sign up, be my guest.
Because if I don't need to be there, I'd
Don't worry.
rather be doing something else.
But I'd rather be doing that too. But, okay, but if, if you can get there, no problem. Okay? Now, I'll get you next.
What's the cutoff age for that plus sign?
The cutoff,
For Golden Corral.
the cutoff is, 65. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
What do I need to do to get one of those shirts?
You need to order it.
All I need to do is.
Get online and order it. Now, let me tell you, and then I'm gonna jump off of this. All you guys that are, that do not use a computer, you need to start using it. Okay? And I'm gonna tell you why. DJ is stopping doing all the work for you. Okay? I'm a senior citizen. Right? Now, if I'm a senior citizen and can do this stuff, you that are not senior citizens can do more than I can. Now, I'm gonna show you something. Not to pat myself on the back, but when my granddaughter used to live with me, she was this high and wanted to get on. And I only had one computer, and I wouldn't let her on it because I was doing work. She'd run to her grandmother and tell the grandmother I wouldn't let her get on the computer. All right. So now my granddaughter knows more than me. Okay, and that's what's going on with these youngins. But now we as old ones need to get on the computer, and we need to start learning how to surf the web and link up to different things. I ain't talking about getting on Facebook and showing out on Facebook. Once you're on Facebook, they got you. Okay, so don't go on Facebook if you don't know too much about it. But get on the line, and you can order your shirts, you can order your caps, you can order anything you want just by going back to dab.gov or dab.org. Either one of them. Okay? Any other question? Okay.
All members rise. time, 1 minute of silence be devoted in honor of our departed comrades. Ready to? Cover. By the number, hand salute. 1. May they rest in peace. 2. Please seat. We will now proceed with regular order of business. Good of the order. We've covered it. Motion to...
Just a quick good of the order. I belong to several different hats, just like pretty much all of you in here. And one of my hats is doing a Christmas present for the needy children. The sign-up is in the auxiliary room right now, but if you have any children or grandchildren that would like a present, please write their name and the age so we can get the presents. The first come, first serve. The first, I think, 65 people that sign up is the ones that's going to be getting the present. And we'll make sure we get to the people. If you could put their address, or not their address, but just their name and the number, and I'll write down DAV, so I'll get in touch with you from here. Okay, thank you.
Question.
Yes.
Is there a maximum number of grandkids put down?
Not a maximum number. We're trying to keep it under the age of 16.
I'm not one to
Children under the age of 16. So not a maximum number though.
Yes, Commander, if I may, just, first, I can shame myself. How many are Marines here, served in the Marine Corps here? This is my birthday, Anna's birthday, your birthday. It's a Marine Corps birthday today.
And John?
And we're...
Happy birthday, John.
I would like to mention just yesterday, I was lucky to be involved with a bunch of us were at Loaves and Fishes yesterday, and we were able to honor homeless veterans yesterday, pinning their service pins on them. It's the 4th year we've done that. Homeless veterans never get a thank you, whether they served or not. So we were able to have a ceremony for them yesterday, a nice ceremony. We pinned their pins on them. And then, to my stand-down organization, we gave out over 60 warm fleece jackets and hygiene kits to all the veterans that showed up. And perhaps I could bring some of those items to our event as well. So, anyhow, thank you.
And are we going to get the Marine call from the 2 Marines here?
I just wanted to piggyback, if anybody was watching the news last night, he again was on the news.
Of course. Commander?
No shame.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, we have a question. Let him answer.
Question? Please, go ahead.
This might be a little offline that sort of thing, but if this is a long weekend, you want to see a big movie, there's Gilbert Barnes and Noble, and maybe there's a new movie on the Midway, World War II Midway. Also, one of the very good libraries is a man that got his master's degree in history from Sac State. You can also go on YouTube, look up Midway. It's a very good presentation of the battle during World War II.
Thank you.
Mr. Commander, as all of you know, the different organizations have been fighting for many years for veterans who are veterans to be able to use the commissary and TX. January 1st, 2020, if you're registered in the VA healthcare system, you receive a medical ID card. That will become your ID card. Anybody that is rated at 0 to 90% January 1, 2020 is eligible to use the PX from the commissary.
Cool.
It passed. Also,
There's been a lot of letters being sent out, and in those letters, you got a 0995, which is a supplemental claim form to Blue Water Navy sailors. If in the past you were denied for Agent Orange, and you have diabetes or any of the related things, get those 0995s filled out. Get them into your BSO, let him get them filed for you. January 1, 2020, they're supposed to have at least 1,000 more VA employees in this area to handle all that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to bring up the Valley Games, Far West for 2020. It will be held in Coast Guard Island down in the Bay Area. June 11th through the 14th is for disabled veterans to learn to experience riding cycles and shooting the target pistols and the golf tournament that we're having down there. The VAD does a sponsorship with the Valley Games, and I want to put to our chapter to sponsor one or two veterans for going to this Valley Game, because it does cost money. It is a 3 or 4 day event, and the Valley Games pays for that stay for the veterans who do participate in these Valley Games. I'll be bringing out more information later on as we get closer to the games, but I want to put out to our chapter about sponsoring veterans to go into these Valley Games. Thank you.
Thank you.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion for, discussion against, call for the question. Aye?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Comrades, the purpose of our gathering here has been accomplished, but before we close, let us always be mindful of the principles for which this organization stands. Comradeship, friendship, loyalty to principle and to our comrades, devotion to our cause, and let it be our model. If I cannot speak good of comrade, I will not speak ill of him or her. Before I declare you adjourned, it is only proper that we again render honor to the flag of our country. Comrade Champion, you lead us in prayer. Cover.
May the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, keep our hearts and minds in the knowledge and love of God, and now until the eternal and all-wise Creator of the universe and preserver of our nation, be honor and glory forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
I now declare this meeting of Sacramento Chapter Number 6, Disabled American Veterans, adjourned. Our next meeting will be held on December the 14th.
And that's all the caveat to that. And so we'll not be here, we'll be at the Golden Corral.
We will be at the Golden Corral for that meeting.
And the time is 11 o'clock. Not be a meeting here next month. Be at the Golden Corral.
Lester.
At Golden Corral.
There won't be food for you to share.
They can clean up right there.